White mold in soybeans can be an interesting disease that we battle from year to year. And a lot of that is just based on the year that you have. If you get wet weather during flowering of soybeans and it stays that way and you have a heavy canopy, I think we're going to see options of, we have the potential of seeing more white mold. You have rows that don't close real well, you have a drier summer. During flowering, we seem to see less white mold. So it's definitely a disease that's hard to predict that you're going to have, and growers will ask us, when I think the biggest thing is going to be during flowering stage of the soybean. If we've got some excellent canopy there, we need to be looking at that. So, there's no resistance to white mold, but we need to be knowing if a field has a history of it, whether we need to be applying a product that was going to help us fight white mold during that given year. And maybe you need to go to wider rows if you're dealing with white mold. 30-inch rows seem to be a better combination. Maybe lower population is going to help us through white mold. So I think there's a lot of management things that you take into consideration when you're looking at that, even more than it is looking at a tolerant soybean, is how you're going to manage your operation. And so a lot of times it's going to be, is if you have a history of that in your soil, you need to be planning on that for that next year and make sure you're putting on a product to control white mold. And if if you're not so sure about it, make sure that maybe mechanically you're running wider rows, maybe lower population, and understanding what environments are going to hit us during that flowering stage of the soybean. And with that, maybe make sure you have one that we consider in our seed guide that has some very good tolerance. White mold can do a lot of damage when it comes to yield. If we get that early enough in the summer during the canopy, we can see a lot of dying plants that just do not develop pods, and they kind of wither away. And there's no yield in some of those areas of that. If we've got heavily manured areas, and again, very high vegetative growth, we can take out a very large percentage of a field if there's been a history of that. Once you have white mold in the field, it's hard to do anything about it. So it's something that we need to be managing before it comes and understanding that what kind of growing season maybe you're going into. For more information on white mold and how it can affect your fields, make sure you contact your local Stine representative.